everybody, it's Maria, and I wanted to start off by saying welcome because I have several new subscribers. I woke up and within an hour, it was really funny. I got a Voxer message from one of my friends, Tina, like Tito in Spain, and she said, "Hey, have you seen YouTube yet?" I said, "No, I just woke up." And she said, "Olive from Book Olive tagged us in a video on Booktuber Shoutouts." So that was really a great way to start my day. Thank you, Olive. You are one of my very favorite booktubers. Nonfiction November is probably one of the reasons I started BookTube. So yeah, if you are here because of Olive, welcome. I hope that I live up to that glowing recommendation. That was just so kind. I wanted to do a tag today, the 5 book, the quotes tag. And Katie from Life Between Words kind of tagged me when I'd mentioned some quotes and just said, "Hey, you need to do the tag." So I am doing the quotes tag, which is basically just pick favorite quotes and share them. This is really hard to do because I have journals full of quotes and canvases that I do quotes on. If I had my way, I would just take a Sharpie and write quotes from books all over my walls, and my husband would probably leave. Which is why I don't do that. So that's why journals are so great. They're not as disruptive to marriages. Without any further ado, I will go ahead and get started. I will preface this video by saying I would put on a t-shirt anything that Dumbledore or Dobby said in Harry Potter, #1. Anything Anne said from Anne of Green Gables or Anne of Apple. She's just, I love her. And a lot of A Little Princess and A Secret Garden, because those are both, I just love them. I love how much spirit and wonder is enclosed in those books, and that's just kind of who I am as a person. So yeah. Also, I did not choose a quote. These are all the things I didn't choose from Frankenstein, which is one of my very favorites, but if you don't have a context for Frankenstein, some of the quotes don't mean as much. So I kind of took quotes that I thought stand alone without any explanation. So first up is Steinbeck, because we all know how I feel about Steinbeck right now. He's just kind of my favorite. And I picked 2 from here, and this one's Grapes of Wrath, which is my current favorite book. Frankenstein was my favorite for over a decade, and Grapes of Wrath surpassed it a few months ago. So the first quote I wanted to share was from Casey, who is probably my favorite character in there other than Mama Jode. I said, "Casey spoke again, and his voice rang with pain and confusion. I says, 'What's this called the spirit?' And I says, 'It's love. I love people so much I'm fit to bust sometimes.' And I says, 'Don't you love Jesus?' Well, I thought and thought. And finally I says, 'No, I don't know nobody named Jesus. I know a bunch of stories, but I only love people. And sometimes I love them fit to bust. And I want to make them happy, so I've been preaching something I thought would make them happy. And then I've been talking a hell of a lot. Maybe you wonder about me using bad words. Well, they ain't bad to me no more. They're just words folks use. And they don't mean nothing bad with them. Anyways, I'll tell you one more thing I thought. And from a preacher, it's the most unreligious thing, and I can't be a preacher no more because I thought and I believed it.' 'What's that?' Jode asked. Casey looked shyly. 'If it hits you wrong, don't take no offense, will ya?' 'I don't take no offense except a bust in the nose,' said Jode. 'What'd you figure?' 'I figured about the Holy Spirit and the Jesus road. Why do we got it hanging on God and Jesus? Maybe it's all men and all women we love. Maybe that's the Holy Spirit, the whole human spirit, the whole shebang. Maybe all men got one big soul everybody's a part of.' Now I sat there thinking it, and all of a sudden I knew it. I knew it so deep down that it was true, and I still know it." When I read that, I was beyond myself because my theology has changed so much over the years, and just the idea of all belonging to each other and the divine being present in everything we do when we touch one another, when we witness to each other as a service, not as a telling people what's wrong and right kind of thing. And the other one is also related to Casey, and it's I actually put a little post-it note that said, "I'll be there." It says, "What, Tom? Well, maybe like Casey says, a fellow ain't got a soul of his own, but only a piece of big one. And then it don't matter. Then I'll be around in the dark. I'll be everywhere. Wherever you look. Wherever there's a fight so hungry people can eat, I'll be there. Wherever there's a cop beating up a guy, I'll be there. If Casey knowed, well, I know I'll be in the way guys yell when they're mad, and I'll be in the ways kids laugh when they're hungry, and they know supper's ready. And when our folks eat the stuff they raise and live in the houses they build, well, I'll be there. See, God, I'm talking like Casey. Comes to thinking about him so much, seems like I can see him sometimes. I don't understand, Ma said. I don't really know. Me neither. It's just stuff I've been thinking about. Get thinking a lot when you ain't moving around. I just love the idea of the divine being in all of the bits of life. The good and the bad, the ugly, the divine, the loving, the hurting, the angry, and just, yeah, there's so much I underlined in this book. The next one is The Humans by Matt Haig. And I saw this book originally on Jen Campbell's channel ages ago, and she just kind of off-mentioned it. It's one of my very favorites. The idea, it has everything in it, first of all. There's romance, there's poetry, there's adventure and action and sci-fi, and you name it. The idea behind it is a human is kind of taken over by an alien who is learning what it's like to be human because he's on a mission to try and stop humanity from releasing this mathematical formula that this human figured out. And I laughed, I cried, I just held my breath several times. And there's so much Emily Dickinson in this. I started reading Emily Dickinson. So anyway, it's a short, I mean, it's only like around 300 pages, less than 300, but it's just great. And I could have underlined this whole thing too, but I picked this one. And it says, in every human life, there's a moment, a crisis, one that says what I believe is wrong. It happens to everyone, the only difference being how that knowledge changes them. In most cases, it is simply a case of burying that knowledge and pretending it isn't there. That's how humans grow old. That is ultimately what creases their faces and curves their backs and shrinks their mouths and ambitions. The weight of that denial, the stress of it. It's not unique to humans. The single biggest act of bravery or madness anyone can do is the act of change. I was something, and now I am something else. I was a monster, and now I'm a different kind of monster. One that will die and feel pain, but one that will also live and maybe even find happiness one day. Because happiness is possible for me now. It exists on the other side of hurt. Yeah, and again, the whole theme of change and disruption. Now, this one is a religious book, I guess. It's Shauna Nyquist. Yes, so she is a Christian. She does not feel judgy to me, but there's so much beauty in everything she writes about just the human experience. She's kind of a memoirist a little bit. She also loves good food. So there's the Bread and Wine book, has really great recipes in it. So there's that. And this is another quote that I've probably copied several places. Today is your big moment. Moments really. The life you've been waiting for is happening all around you. The scene unfolding right outside your window is worth more than the most beautiful painting, and the crackers and the peanut butter you're having for lunch on the coffee table are as profound in their own way as the Last Supper. This is it. This is life in all of its glory, swirling and unfolding around us, disguised as pedantic, pedestrian non-events. But pull off the mask and you'll find your life waiting to be made, chosen, woven, crafted. Your life right now, today, is exploding with energy and power and detail and dimension, better than the best movie you've ever seen. You and your family and your friends and your house and your dinner table and your garage have all the makings of a life of epic proportions, a story for the ages. Because they all are. Every life is. You have stories worth telling, memories worth remembering, dreams worth working toward, a body worth feeding, a soul worth tending, and beyond that, the God of the universe dwells within you. The true culmination of super and natural. You are more than dust and bones. You are spirit and power and image of God, and you have been given today. I have that on a quote next to my bed because it makes me feel all the feelings. Next up, good old George Orwell, 1984. And from this one, I picked... I don't mean confessing. Confession is not betrayal. What you say or do doesn't matter. Only feelings matter. If they can make me stop loving you, that would be the real betrayal. She thought it over. They can't do that, she said. It's the one thing they can't do. They can make you say anything, but they can't make you believe it. They can't get inside you. No, he said a little bit more hopefully. No, that's quite true. They can't get inside in you. If you can feel that staying human is worthwhile, even when it can't have any result whatever, you've beaten them. And yeah, I think I had like 4 pages of quotes out of this book the last time I reread it. And this one, which I'm slowly trucking through, is Dear Theo. And it's the autobiography of Vincent Van Gogh told through his letters to his brother. And if you don't know about Van Gogh, he has a great, great story. But he was very philosophical. He was kicked out of seminary, which I love because he was feeding the poor. He's just phenomenal to read about. And he just was enraptured by wonder and beauty and all the things. Okay, so I'm going to read out of this one. You must try by all means to get a good knowledge of pictures. Go to the museum as often as you can. It is a good thing to know the old painters also. And if you have a chance, read about art, and especially the art magazine. Try to walk as much as you can and keep your love for nature, for that is the true way to learn to understand art more and more. Painters understand nature and love her, and teach us to see her. If one really loves nature, one can find beauty everywhere. And then a little bit down further it says, no woman is old. That does not mean that there are no old women, but that a woman is not old as long as she loves and is loved. And I just thought that was beautiful because that ties in a lot of what I think about life and people. And you only become old and decrepit when you let yourself. So those are some of my favorite quotes. I would love to hear in the comments, what are yours? Again, I could have probably made this like a 5-hour-long video. I don't even know what the limit is, but it's definitely not going to happen for me to sit and read to you quotes I love. But go ahead and put in the comments. If you're new to my channel, welcome. It's so great to have you. If you want to do this tag, do this tag. If you, yes, have never done a tag before, I definitely tag you. So I will talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye.